My students use sign language during class, and I found out something horrific. I teach middle school art at a public school. I've been doing it for 6 years. It's one of those jobs where you think you've seen everything. The meltdowns, the drama, the weird confessions kids make when they think you're not really listening. You build up a kind of armor after a while. You think nothing can surprise you anymore. I was wrong. I know sign language because my little sister is deaf. We grew up signing at the dinner table, signing across the backyard, signing through the car window when our mom couldn't hear us. It's as natural to me as breathing, but I never mentioned it to my students. It just never came up. There was no reason to bring it up. And honestly, after a while, you forget it's even unusual. It's just part of how you grew up. About 2 months ago, I started noticing 3 of my students signing to each other during class. 2 girls and a boy, always in the back corner near the supply shelf. At first, I thought maybe one of them had a deaf family member too, and they'd all picked it up together the way kids do when something feels like a secret code worth learning. I thought it was genuinely sweet, this little private language they'd built between themselves. I never said anything. Let them have their thing. The one I'll call M had been in my class since September. Quiet kid. Serious. She always showed up about 10 minutes before the bell and would be the last one still cleaning brushes long after everyone else had left. She sat at the table closest to my desk. I figured she just liked art. Some kids really do. You don't overthink it. Looking back, there were signs I didn't read correctly. She'd linger after class asking questions that weren't really about art. She knew my schedule better than some of my colleagues did. She'd make small comments. Once she mentioned the coffee place near my apartment, which I'd never told anyone at school I went to. I brushed it off. Told myself I was being paranoid. Teachers aren't supposed to turn students into problems when there's no obvious problem yet. Then came the afternoon that changed everything. It was a Friday. Free work period. The room had that loose end-of-week energy where half the kids are actually working and the other half are just existing. M was absent that day. Her 2 friends, the ones she always signed with, were at the back corner table. I was sitting at my desk grading a stack of sketchbooks, head down, half zoned out, and then I caught my name in their hands. I didn't react, didn't look up, just kept my pen moving across the page like I was still reading, but every part of my attention locked onto them. At first it was nothing, just the normal gossip loop. Who said what to who, some drama from lunch. I almost looked away. Then one of them signed something that made my chest go cold. They were talking about M, about what she'd been doing after school. She'd been following me, not once, regularly. She knew my bus route, she knew which stop I got off at, she knew my street. One of them signed that M had photographs, photos taken through the bus window without me knowing, photos of my building. I kept my face completely still, kept grading. My hand was shaking, but I don't think they noticed. They went on for another few minutes. There was more. Conversations M had recounted to them, things she'd said she wanted, a plan she'd apparently been thinking through for weeks. I'm not going to write all of it out. Some of it I'm still processing, but by the time the bell rang, I had heard enough to know that what I was dealing with was not a crush. It was not a phase. It was something that needed to go above my head immediately. I walked straight to my department head's office. I had the safeguarding policy pulled up on my phone before I even knocked on the door. The next few days were a blur of meetings. Administration, the school counselor, eventually M's parents. M wasn't in class for the rest of that week. I don't know exactly what was said in those rooms because most of it didn't filter back to me directly, and I didn't push for details. That wasn't my role anymore. What I did find out through the counselor, carefully, was that M had been going through something serious at home for a long time. The kind of serious that gets buried under a quiet personality and decent grades and a talent for art that makes teachers think everything is fine. No one had flagged it, no one had caught it. She had been invisible in all the worst ways. I thought about that a lot since, how she was right there in front of me every single day and I was only ever looking at the surface of things. That Friday afternoon, 2 students in the back of my art room had absolutely no idea they were signing directly to the one person in the building who could understand every single word. And somehow, that was the thing that finally got her help.